Hi everybody, this is Zara Premji coming to you live. It's Wednesday evening, almost 10 after 8. I was supposed to go live at 8, but we had just a little bit of stuff going on at home, and I just had to deal with kiddo stuff, like kid stuff, and we're doing bathroom renovations, and of course the contractors needed me like just as I was about to go live. So I'm here now, and thank you for joining me. I actually got a couple of messages saying, we're looking for you live and can't see you. Am I in the wrong spot? And it just like warmed my heart, not because I'm late, but because that means you guys were like waiting for me. So that's super exciting. Hi, Anne. How's it going? Hello. Okay, I need to like sort of like regroup because like I said, I've been like running, so I might be a little bit out of breath. I am going to try and make sure that I am going live in the right spot and that Facebook is working, and graciously warned me that Facebook is being a little bit weird right now. And so you guys are going to have to tell me if you don't see me properly or if things are blurry or anything. So if things don't seem to be working, please let me know, and then I'll kind of log off and restart or something. I'm also having issues with my computer right now, and it's not letting me log on to the internet. I sound like a hot mess. Okay. So say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you've seen the new catalog yet. And if so, if you have a favorite item in there. I'm really excited to hear what people love. I said in my catalog tour video earlier today that I'm like in love with more things than I'm not. So it's going to do some damage on my credit card for sure. But I am interested in hearing what other people love. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Carol. Hello. Hi, Angie. Oh, I have a little visitor who's come to say hello. This is Amelia. You might not be able to see everybody, but they can see you, so you can say hi.
Hello.
Are you going to hang out with me for the Facebook Live, or are you going upstairs? Peonies, peonies, peonies. Yes, of course. And I actually kind of figured I knew what you loved. Hi, Alia. Hi, Selena. Oh my goodness, so many people joining me today. Anne is saying, hi, sweetie pie, Amelia. I was saying before you guys jumped on that for those of you that are just joining, that I've just the last half hour has been a little bit crazy. So I am somewhat organized. I have my projects ready, and I've got some fun stuff to show you. I just need to make sure that I can see your comments, which means I need to pull this up on my computer so that when I flip the screen down, I can still see if you guys are commenting and asking questions. Okay. So you guys were telling me what you love, what you've seen in the catalog. Brenda, I think you said Forever Fern. Yep, between the Forever Fern and the peonies and the flowers for every season, and there's like a couple of other sweets. I'm in love with all of it. So it's an amazing catalog. Lots of different products that are going to be well suited for any level of crafter. So whether you are a beginner stamper, never crafted before, to someone who's more of a casual stamper, or someone who's avid and is just loving collecting everything, you are going to find something in here for you. So I did do a catalog tour earlier today. It took a really long time, so I'm not going to do that again today, do that again this evening. But it was about an hour long. And Anne is asking, Amelia, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite item in the catalog? Have you looked in the catalog yet?
I have a favorite ink color.
You have a favorite ink color? What's that?
Melon Mambo.
Melon Mambo is Amelia's favorite. I think Amelia's also really going to love Magenta. Excuse me, Magenta Madness. This one here. What do you think? Do you like this as much as Melon Mambo? Yeah, it's a pretty cool color. This is a new color. So Anne, there you have it. She's another fan of pink, just like you. Yeah, she's also probably going to really love the hippos and the unicorn. You know what? She hasn't actually looked at the catalog yet. I haven't really given her a copy, so I will, now that I've got my boxes of catalogs. I will definitely give one to Amelia. And then she will report back to us what her favorites are, okay? So Amelia, after you've have had a chance to look, then you're gonna have to report back and tell us, okay? I think it's almost time for you to go upstairs and get ready for bed. Give me a kiss, and then go see your daddy, okay? Love you. Are you sticking around or are you gonna go? All right, I guess I'm crafting with my 6-year-old on my shoulder. Hi, Maureen. Okay. Hi, Shannon. I don't know. I'm sorry if I've missed people. I'm really excited to be here with you guys. I have some cute projects. I was supposed to pull a host code together and everything, but I'm going to have to post that in the description. So I'm going to be showing you 3 projects tonight. And if you place a minimum order of $35 or more using the host code that I'm going to share with you, you will get the make and take packets for those projects for free. Okay. And then I have other specials. So if you order over $50, then you're going to get a free embellishment from the new catalog. And you'll also get my tutorial bundle. So I'm part of an exclusive tutorial group where we put together PDF tutorials for different projects, and there's usually 10 to 14 of them, and so you'll get that for free as well. Okay, if your order is anywhere over $200, do not use the host code. You are still going to get those free gifts, but you'll also get some Stampin' Rewards on top of that. Okay, so here we go. I am going to not spend too much time chatting, and I'm going to flip the camera down and I will show you what we are making today. Okay, so let me clear some space and we will get started. So look away because I'm going to flip this down and we'll get set up here. Okay. Oh, thanks, Brenda. I'm just reading your comment about Amelia being cute. All right, here we go. Let me move this forward and let's hope that that camera stand does not tip. Hi, Zaline. Oh, Amelia, Anna's saying she loves your fox shirt, your foxy shirt. Okay, here we go. I think I'm set up. Let me just look at the screen here. Okay, you will see my computer in the screen a little bit. I can't move it too far back because I won't be able to read the comments. So I'm going to be showing you 3 projects. This is our new annual catalog for those of you that didn't join me earlier today or haven't had a chance to look at it. It is gorgeous. There is so much beautiful stuff in here, and there are like I can't even pick one thing that I love. I just love a lot of things. But before I get started with the stamping, I want to talk to you about a couple of specials here. The first one is our starter kit deal, okay? So the starter kit, for those of you that are not currently demonstrators or have not purchased the starter kit before, the starter kit is basically a deal where you get to choose $165 in product and you pay $135, no tax, no shipping. Now, the term starter kit can be misleading. People might think that it means that there's like a predetermined kit and that you're going to get all these essentials and things in it, but it's actually a choose your own adventure type kit. So you can basically choose $165 in product based on what you need. So if you need essentials and you're more of a beginner stamper, you can start from scratch and put in things like a trimmer, adhesive, ink, cardstock, that kind of thing. And if you already have some crafting supplies, then you can just fill gaps. So if you like, if there's some stamp sets that you love or you want the new in colors, that kind of thing, you can fill gaps. So basically it's $165 of anything you want, and you pay $135, no tax, no shipping. Between June 3rd and June 30th, you also get to choose a free bundle. So any stamp set with a coordinating punch or stamp set with coordinating dies, you will get to choose for free to add on. So of course you're going to want to choose the most expensive one because then you get the most value. I mean the most expensive one on your wish list. Don't pick the most expensive one in the catalog if you don't like it. So that's the first special. And I am definitely encouraging anybody who's not already a demonstrator who wants some crafting supplies. This is absolutely the best deal for you. And there's no obligation. You do not need to sell. You do not need to do workshops. You don't need to buy anything if you don't want to. But you do get a discount after you purchase the starter kit. And so, I mean, if you're anything like me and you just feel like you want to have it all, that discount is definitely a great thing to have. The other promotion I'm going to tell you about is our annual catalog kickoff celebration promotion. promotion. And so basically what that means is if you have a fairly large order, or if you get a group of friends together and you guys all put in an order together, you're going to get some extra free product on that order. So normally on a $300 order, you would get $30 in product for free. But during this promotion between June 3rd and 30th, you're going to get an extra $30 for free. So in addition, so you add that up and you're going to get at least $60 in free product to redeem on that order. So this is a great promotion. So if you wanted to host a virtual party or wanted to get a group of friends together and put in a group order, this is definitely a great promotion to have right now. Okay, so what else do I want to tell you? I want to tell you about Stamp Camp. So I am doing a summer Stamp Camp, and today is the absolute last day to sign up for this. That's June 3rd. The actual Stamp Camp is going to be held on June 20th, and it's all going to be virtual so that we can stay safe and at home and abide by the guidelines being passed down to us. You will still make 10 projects featuring new product from the annual catalog. You will get a product swag bag over $45. You will get some little treats and gifts. We will be hanging out on Zoom all day. There will also be an exclusive Facebook group where we'll have some different albums with different pictures, like lots of different samples of projects. There'll be product demonstrations, prizes of all new Stampin' Up! Product over $500 worth. So it's going to be a really fun day. We're going to do everything on Zoom. You can come in and out as you please. If you want to stamp with your own friends, we'll have breakout rooms so you can choose to do that. So it's just going to be a really nice way for us to connect and be creative and craft all day, get some free product, and have 10 beautiful cards. Okay, so there is information on my business page about this. There's an event there. You can check that out. And if you're interested, please make sure you register by tonight. Okay, so that's that. Let's get crafting. I'm going to show you the bundle we're going to be using today. It's called Lovely You, and this is a beautiful stamp set that has images and sentiments. And as soon as I saw this, I was drawn to it because I love the fine line writing in it, and I love the sentiments. So it's got some beautiful sentiments. This stamp set actually consists of 18 stamps, and the sentiments say, love is what makes us family, miles apart but still in my heart, which is very appropriate for this season right now, cherished friend, just because, wildly grateful, smile, heartfelt, you're my person, which totally takes me back to Grey's Anatomy, let's cheer you up, trust me, you're lovely, and always. Okay, so lots of really nice sentiments that are really versatile, and you can use them for all sorts of different occasions. And then of course it has lots of nice images as well, so you can create your own background, stamp up like the entire cardstock, and then use that almost as your patterned paper, and then just stamp a sentiment somewhere and stick it on, and you've got a gorgeous card ready to go. So these are some of the cards on the front of the catalog, also using this stamp set, and you can just see how simple they are. They're probably done on our regular Whisper White note cards with just a little bit of ink and colored cardstock and some linen thread, and you've got some really beautiful cards. So I'm going to be showing you some projects. Karen, this is on page 22 of the annual catalog, so it's pretty close to the front. Thank you, Shannon. So see, I try and watch the comments, but I get a little bit like passionate and excited here, and then I forget to look at the comments. So thanks for having my back. So we're going to make 3 different projects, and I'm trying to decide if I should show you all 3 of them first. I feel like maybe I will. So you, hopefully if you like them enough, you'll stick around till the end. So this is one of them. And like I said, I've just stamped on white cardstock and then put it on a white card base. So it's very simple, very little extra product used in here. You could totally do this with note cards and envelopes. So this is something that would be really good for a beginner stamper. And even if you didn't want to add any layers, you could literally just take a note card and then stamp these on and put on your sentiment. And you don't even need to actually have it raised on anything. So this lends itself really nicely to a beginner level card. And then this one here is using the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. So I'm totally in love with this paper. I love florals, I love bold florals, and this particular paper pack has just so many amazing patterns. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I was only able to order 2 packs on the pre-order, and I'm already on my second. So this is one side of it. It's a lot of this color is called Bumblebee, and then this one here is Just Jade, and this one here is Cinnamon Cider. So that's all on one side. You can see there's some festive patterns, there's some stripes, and then kind of like a trellis pattern, and then more flowers. And then when you flip it over, bam, it's all bright and colorful and vibrant and big, bold flowers and lots of punchy colors. So the other colors in the new In Color collection that are also in this paper pack are Magenta Madness and Misty Moonlight. So those you may not have seen on the other side. So really gorgeous papers, and I love how they combine all the In Colors together. This might be one of my favorite papers. I don't know. I just love the color combination. It also has Poppy Parade in it. So it's just a really nice, bold, big pattern flowers, and it just speaks to me. So that's what I've used on this card here, and the color cardstock here is Misty Moonlight, and I will take you through that one. And then the last project that I did is this little bookmark, which is actually in the catalog, and I thought it was so cute, so I wanted to play around with it and see if I could create that. So this is my version of it, and I am going to show you how to make these projects. So I am going to get started. I have a basket full of stuff. And here's the bundle that I'm talking about and that I'll be using. So this is the Lovely You stamp set, and this is the Lovely, what's it called? Lovely Labels Pick a Punch. This is a really interesting punch. It's got 3 different measurements for 2 different patterns. So you can punch actually 6 different types of labels from this. You can see that there's one that's a little bit more of a straight edge here, and then this one's a little bit more ornate. And then you've got 3 different thicknesses. So the smallest is 1/2 inch, and then you get 3/4 of an inch, and then the widest is 1 inch. So basically, if you have a strip of cardstock that's any of those 3 widths, you can just slide it in the track, and then when you flip it over, it'll punch according to whichever design you choose. Okay, so let's start with the first card that has just the stamping on it. Hi Mary, it's nice to see all of you guys online. I hope that you've all had a good day. I hope you've had a chance to look at the new catalog, and those of you that had wanted to place orders, hopefully you've had a chance to do that. Okay, I am going to get my stamp. So I've already pulled off the stamps that I need, and basically it looks like there's every single stamp from the set is in my case here. And I'm going to grab my ink colors. So I'm going to be using, wow, I'm going to be using a lot of different colors on this first card. So I'm using Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, Coastal Cabana, Melon Mambo, and I'm using Night of Navy for the sentiment. Now, if I already had the In Colors in my possession, I would definitely use the In Color ink pads, but I do not have them yet. I'm hoping by early next week to have them, because I'm going to be placing my order tomorrow morning. So I've used other colors that are really quite fun and bright, and I think it still creates a really beautiful card. So I'm just going to start stamping. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball where I want to stamp my leaves and flowers. So I'm going to start, I'm not going to stamp directly on that, I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want to start. So I'm just going to kind of scatter these. I don't want it to be in any kind of symmetrical pattern. Maybe I'll do that way. And then I can always fill in gaps if I need. I just want to kind of get the general sense of where I want to place things. So now I'm going to move on to Coastal Cabana. Thanks, Mary. I do like it too. It's fun and vibrant and bright. And with this type of card, you can basically use any kind of color combination. You can go with more sort of muted colors if you wanted to do colors from the Subtles collection. You could do, again, even more like jewel tones like the Regals collection. So really kind of any color combo would look really nice like this. So I better make sure I close these before I move on to the next one. I'm just going to check this. So yeah, that's not bad. And then I'm going to take these flowers here, and I will use my Melon Mambo, which reminds me a little bit of Magenta Madness. Although I feel like Magenta Madness has a little bit of a, almost like a neon tone to it, which I just love. I think that's fun. Okay, I'm going to stick that there. And then I will stamp my Daffodil Delight flowers. And this one I'll probably use to fill in some gaps here. So if I see that, you know, there's a lot of open spaces, then I'll probably need to just stamp a little bit more of these. So I want to just evenly distribute it. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no method to my madness. I'm just kind of stamping all over the place. Okay, so once I have my labels punched and ready to stick on, I'll check it out, and if I need to make any adjustments, I'll do that. So I'm going to use the label punch now. So I've got a strip of cardstock that measures 3/4 of an inch by 3.5, and I'm just going to put that in here. So what I'm finding is sometimes when I'm punching it, it's not always coming out totally straight. So when I have the cardstock in the track, I'm just checking it at the back to make sure that it is fairly centered. And what I mean by that is once you push the cardstock in, mine doesn't seem to want to go in, there we go. Once you push the cardstock in and you look at the back, you can see kind of where the center point is of the punch, and then you just want to make sure that your cardstock is centered. I've learned through error. I've messed up a few. So I'm going to do the same thing with, actually this one I'm going to use the slightly ornate label. So I'm going to make sure that I have that all the way at the back, fairly centered, and punch that out. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, going to center that and then punch that. Okay, so not too bad. And I am going to now stamp my sentiment on here. So I'm using the same one that says miles apart, but still in my heart. And I can think of a number of different people that I would love to send this to right now. So many people that I haven't been able to see. So I'm just going, you might see my head peeking over just so that I can make sure that it's fairly straight. Okay, so that's that. And let me just check it to make sure it's going to sit nicely. Actually, yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so before I stick that on, I want to grab my linen thread, which is in my little basket here. Now, if you're wrapping your twine around this, and if you were to try and recreate this card, you would want to make sure that you tie your bow pretty close to the end, because it's the width of this particular piece here is about 4 1/4, or about 4 inches, sorry. And so it is going to take up quite a bit of the width of that first layer. So you want to make sure that you're tying your bow close to the edge. And I'm just going to use my Tombow to stick that on here. And okay. If you're hearing sounds in the background, Amelia has not left. She is watching Peppa Pig on her iPad, literally on the other side of the wall where my desk is against. So hopefully it's not too distracting. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my linen thread and I'm going to wrap this around twice. This linen thread is one of my most favorite used twines or ribbons, and I was so happy to see that it came back. White twine, so Whisper White Twine, which was one of my other well-used, did not return, so that retired, but there are some awesome twines in the catalog that I will enjoy just as much. All right, so like I said, you want to tie the bow pretty close to the end here. And maybe what I'll do is I'm going to maybe stick a couple of dimensionals on here, because that'll just help me tie. And I know that I'm going to stick my my label on top of that anyway. So this just helps me not have to hold it while I'm trying to tie a bow. And voila. All right. So that's that. Okay. And then I'm going to, what did I do with my card base? So let me score my card base, or fold my card base, I should say. And I'm just going to burnish that line, and I'm going to stick this down, and then last I will stick on my sentiment. Uh-oh. I do not want this to run out on me now. There we go. Let me grab my little Tombow holder so it stays where it should. Okay, I think I've done this the wrong way. Hold on. Okay, so that's just going on a plain white card base. Like I said, you could definitely do this just on note cards and envelopes, and they would look so beautiful. I like the simplicity of the white card base, so I'm just going to leave it. But again, you could also throw this on a colored card base as well. Okay, so now I'm going to stick my sentiment on. And this card is almost done. I'm just going to embellish with some rhinestones. Can you guys see this? I haven't even been seeing my screen, but I'm hoping that you can see it. And I'm just going to splash some rhinestones on here. My goodness, my desk looks like a really big mess. So yeah, just going to put a few of these on. And maybe put one there. And then one, whoops, one here, and then one maybe right over here. Okay, so it's just a little bit of sparkle on different parts of the card. And so that is card number 1. I will let you guys admire that while I quickly clean my stamps, because I'm going to need them again for the next 2 cards. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. You can see it's, like I said, it's a very simple card. And if you do try something like this with this particular stamp set or others, I would love to see the color combinations you choose. I definitely want to try this with other colors as well. So I would love to see what you guys create. So please do share. And I'll just clean all of these off. My chamois is looking a little worse for wear. I probably need to get a new one, but I think it's going to do the job for me today. Okay, so let me put these away. Oh yeah, that is definitely not cleaning. I have to go to the edges where there's no ink. Okay, so let's put these away and we will move on to the next card. I think I can get rid of these inks now too. And sorry if this mess is making your head spin a little. It's definitely doing that to me. Okay, so the next card we are going to do is the Wildly Grateful card. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside, and I've already got my pieces fairly ready to go. I'll start by just varnishing my card base. So this is Misty Moonlight. This is one of our new in colors, and I just love this color. I love the tone of the blue. I've already done my embossing, so I used it's a new textile embossing folder, and if anybody wants to know the page number, let me know and I will find it for you. It's part of the In Good Taste suite, which I think is kind of in like the page, I think it's like page 124-ish, so it's in that section of the catalog, and this is one of the new embossing folders. So it's really nice. It's a subtle texture, but enough that it creates some nice depth there. And then the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm using a different pattern of the same Designer Series paper pack. So this one has more of a white background. This one has more of like, it almost looks like a pink background. I'm just going to stick that on so I don't lose it. And then we will get our stamping going. All right, so I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight because, like I said, I don't yet have the new in colors. I don't have Bumblebee, which is the color that's actually in this paper, but I thought Daffodil Delight was close enough. So I'm just going to take this little flower stamp and I'm going to just stamp sporadically around the edges. There we go. And close that up and get this out of the way so I don't stamp in it again. And then I'm going to bring out my Night of Navy, and I will use the Wildly Grateful sentiment. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here. There we go. And most of this card is done now. I'm just going to stick this on. So I use the stitched shapes, framelits for the stitch circle, and then I use the layering circles dies to do a scallop circle that's a little bit bigger than this circle. I just like layering these together, and there's just a little bit showing, a little bit peeking out from the side. Okay. And then I will pop some dimensionals on these. And then I'll put that down there. And then I'm going to use the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. So this is a new ribbon that's coming out in our new annual catalog. And I love the width of it. So I think it's 1/4 of an inch. Is it 1/4 of an inch? Yeah, it's 1/4 of an inch. So I find the width of this makes it really easy to tie in a bow. And I love that little pop of color. So I'm just going to adjust my bow till it is the size that I want it, and then I'll tighten it, and I'm just going to snip that end. Okay, so let me grab my glue dots, and I'll pop that bow on, and then let's see if I can find my new in color enamel dots, because I did put them in my little basket here, but they seem to have gone for a little walk. So these, basically these little dots here that you see on here are the in color enamel dots, and they come in all 5 of the different in colors, and I did have them, and I'm sure that they're going to turn up at some point. So I'm not going to embellish this card yet unless I don't find them, in which case I will put some rhinestones. So that is card number 2. Okay, I'll put this one on top so you can see the embellished version. What do you guys think of that? So again, really simple. This is really good for a casual level stamper. Just some embossing. You could again do it without the embossing, and then I just used the banner punch to make that little end here, and then just did a little bit of stamping and stuck it on, and you've got a really cute card that's very easy to make. So this last one here is a bookmark, like I said. And again, because I don't already have the ink colors, the in color inks, I actually have had to improvise with this one, and I'm going to use Versamark. Oh, here, I found my dots. See, I knew they were hiding somewhere. So let's do that before I forget. And I'm going to use the same color. I'll use the Bumblebee because you can tell I've used the other color as well. All right, so that's it. All right, so those are the 2 cards, 2 different patterns of the designer series paper. I can't tell you enough how much I love this paper. It's just gorgeous and makes me so happy. So I'm improvising without the inks, and I'm actually going to use the Versamark ink, which is a watermark ink. We use this often for heat embossing, but I'm also going to use it for doing these pieces here, okay? So I'm going to actually put them in order of the way that I did them in the bookmark. So I'm going to stamp them first, and then I will punch, and I'm going to start with this one here. So if I had more time, I would probably use clear embossing powder just to give it a little bit more of a shine, but you'll still get the same effect with the Versamark ink. So I'm just inking this up. So Versamark is, in addition, like I said, to being really good for heat embossing, it's amazing for just doing sort of a tone-on-tone type stamping. Okay, so that's that one there. I'm going to grab this one next, this little flower image, and I'm just going to sporadically stamp that onto the Bumblebee cardstock. So when I saw this bookmark in the catalog, I fell in love with it. I've done a lot of in-color bookmarks in my time, but I just loved the look of this one. And so I thought, let me just try and see if I could do this with the Versamark. And I really like how it turned out. Karen, you really love the blue. I love it too. It's such a, I don't know, it's such a calming blue. I really like it. I was feeling sad when we were retiring Blueberry Bushel because I felt like we didn't have any blue that was anything like that, and we still don't, but this is definitely filling a void for me. I love it. Okay, so you're just gonna, again, there's no rhyme or reason or pattern, you're just sporadically stamping. And then what do I have next? So next I have this image, which I love, and I'm just going to stamp that and then maybe the last one, just peeking out a bit here. Okay, and then the last one I'm going to use is the little flower here. And I'll just stamp these on to these strips. I don't know if you happen to see on my page, I had posted a picture of a card that I had made with a bunch of scraps. So let me see if I can find it here. Oh yeah, so I had a bunch of scraps lying on my desk, and so I decided instead of tossing them, I was going to actually make a card with them. And so I actually held on to a bunch of my other scraps that are the same width, so they were all 1/2 inch, and I ended up using them for these bookmarks. So that is it for the stamping. I'm going to put this away and look for my punch again. Okay, so again, I'm going to put these in, I'm going to start with the one I used first. So I'm going to put these in the 1/2 inch track, and I'm just going to check them to make sure that it's going all the way through and that it's fairly straight. I really like this edge here. Like, I like the simplicity of it. It's just once you get it centered. I did a few earlier and they were way off. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't get this punch. It's gorgeous. Okay. Come on, there we go. So these strips here are cut at 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Okay, and then when you actually punch them in here, it doesn't take too much off the length. It more like maybe like 1/8 inch it takes off on each side. So by the time you've finished punching both sides, it's taken off maybe about 1/4 inch. Okay. Almost there. And then I think I may have cut my crumb cake cardstock a little bit too wide, so I'm going to trim that down a bit. Last but not least, Magenta Madness. I really like these colors together. This has been maybe my most favorite in color collection in a long time. I really am a fan. Okay, so let's get these stuck down. Oh, you got this punch this week. Awesome. Yeah, Shannon, it takes a little bit of practice, I'm not gonna lie, but it's well worth the effort. It's I love the labels that it's doing on here. So I'm just gonna cut off 1/4 inch off of each. So this piece of crumb cake, if you decide you want to try and replicate this, measures 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's the those are the dimensions of that piece there. And I just used crumb cake. I basically tried to mimic what was in the catalog. So now I'm going to assemble these and make sure that this is right side up. And here's the Just Jade. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to assemble these and put them on. And if you look at the picture in the catalog, it's actually staggered a little bit. So they're not all perfectly aligned. They have one that's kind of starting a little lower. And then it just kind of goes up, down, up, down. So I'm going to do the same. I'm not trying to go off the grid. I liked it just the way it was. So then I'm just going to put this a little bit higher, maybe about 1/4 inch up from the bottom, and just hold that there for a few seconds while the glue dries. And then we'll put this one a little bit lower. And almost there. And put that one up a little bit. So I'm hoping once I get my inks to mass produce these and send them out with, I have a few more catalogs to send out, so I'm hoping to be able to send these out with them. So if you're watching and you don't already have a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like a catalog, please let me know. You can send me a private message or you can comment below and I will get that in the mail for you. So now I'm going to use the Label Me. I know there are two punches that came out. One was Label Me Fancy. I feel like this is not that one. It's the Label Me Lovely maybe. And I'm just using this small slit here and I want to just center that with my Just Jade, okay? So I figure this is pretty much my center point. So I'm going to try to center this. I want to make sure not to cut off any of the top. And that just creates a little bit of a slit there. So I'm going to then use my, what color ribbon am I going to use? I think I'm going to use the Just Jade, and I'm actually going to cut two pieces about the same length, and then I can trim later if needed. Okay, so that's that, and I'm going to feed that through, and I'm going to tie some linen thread around that. So you can see I've kind of used a lot of the same materials and same products on all three of these projects. So I've used linen thread, I've used rhinestones, I've used some similar ink colors on at least two of the cards. So and I've tried to use some of the in color cardstock. So it's a really great color combination, and with just a few products you can make lots of different projects. And this particular stamp set and punch is amazing. Hi, darling.
Where are my Crocs?
I'm not too sure where your Crocs are. They might be over there by the door. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out these pieces. So this one measures 3/4 of an inch by, I think I might actually need to cut this a bit smaller. So because I cut down the crumb cake, I think I'm actually gonna have to cut a little bit more of this off. So this is 2.5, and let's hope it's the right width. And then I'm also gonna cut off 1/4 of an inch here. So this is 2 3/4. So there's 1/4 of an inch difference between the two because I'm layering one on top of the other. So I'm still going to use that same side with the slightly less ornate edge, I guess you could say, and do both sides, just checking again to make sure it's centered. So do you see how like sometimes it goes this way? You just want to make sure you're positioning it properly and save yourself having to do that again. So that's that piece there, and then I will do this narrower piece. Thank you, Anise. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I think, see what I mean? So sometimes if you're like a little bit off, it just looks a bit uneven, but it's handmade, so it's gonna be awesome. I am going to get out the Just Because stamp, and I will stamp that onto the smaller of the two labels, and then I will layer them. So, sorry if you're seeing my head. Okay, actually that turned out pretty straight. I think straighter than my first try. All right, let's get the dimensionals, and I will stick this onto the longer layer. And we are almost done. Hang on. There we go. Got a little bit of wiggle room there. And I will use my Tombow again and stick that down in the center. So there you have a lovely little bookmark which showcases all of the new in colors, which I just love. Let me clear some space here so I can show you all the projects. So these are the two bookmarks. Oh, what a mess. These are the two bookmarks, okay, which I just showed you. And then we've got these two cards here. again using the DSP and some embossing. And then we've got 2 of this card, which again was just some stamping and white cardstock. And of course I used the punch to do the sentiments. So those are the 3 cards. I'm just gonna flip the screen back so I can see you guys. Okay, I had to take my glasses off because I can't see too close up when I have my glasses on. But I just wanted to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're feeling a little inspired. If you already have this stamp set, I hope that you go and do something fun with it. The punch is amazing. The sentiments are amazing. I love the images. And there's a lot of different possibilities. There's some great inspiration in the catalog for these this particular stamp set, and you'll be seeing lots more from me because I just love it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I thank you so much for joining me. Look out for my host code if you are interested in placing an order. I will send you the make and take, so I'll send you the project kits so that you can also make something similar at home, or you can just use whatever you have. You don't have to order this stamp set and matching punch. You could use these supplies to be able to create any cards that you like with any of the products that you have at home. So thank you so much for joining me. I will hopefully see you guys next Wednesday, probably at 2 o'clock. And I hope that you guys have a great evening and happy stamping. Bye.